Australia and New Zealand made history. They organized the biggest women's event ever. Watched by millions all over the world. We were part of it. In this video, we're going to share the experience and introduce you to another Australian city we fell in love with, Perth. I'm a journalist and I've been working on mega sporting events for 20 years. This is the only job I didn't quit after YouTube because I love it and I still get to travel. The Women's World Cup had matches in 4 cities in New Zealand and 5 in Australia. I worked in 2 of them, Sydney and Perth. Perth is a beautiful city on the west coast of Australia. The central business district has a lovely waterfront. Welcome to Elizabeth Quay. Here you can find shopping, cafes, restaurants, and even boat tours. This was close to our hotel, and this area quickly became a favorite. Is that the ocean, baby?
No, it's a river.
Yeah, it's the Swan River. Now, why this name?
Because there's swans.
Black swans, yeah. Here you also find the bell tower. It houses historical British bells, at least 7 centuries old. Let me tell you something interesting about the bells inside this tower. When they were in London, they were used to celebrate, many victories, especially war victories. One of them was in 1588. They celebrated England's victory over Spain.
That was the first football game, wasn't it? 1588.
Spain tried to invade England.
Because Spain had the football. They wanted to own the game, didn't they?
It didn't work.
And the countries met in 2023 again, didn't they?
Yeah, different result though. But for me, the highlight in terms of tourist attractions were the wild kangaroos on an island in East Perth. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. There are wild kangaroos here in Perth, right in the middle of the city. Look at this. Just in nature. It's not a zoo nor a sanctuary, none of that. Oh, lovely. Oh. East Perth is a very charming area with lovely buildings and amazing views.
These walking paths are all connected. You can go a long ways.
Look at that bird posing for us. Here you also find one of the top attractions in town, the Perth Mint, the official gold bullion mint of Australia. And you can learn the country's history of gold.
In Western Australia, there was a gold rush at the end of the 19th century.
And mining is still a very important part of the economy here. The mint houses the world's largest piece of gold, a $1 million coin, worth way more than that. How much do you think the $1 million coin is worth?
$1 million.
No, I don't think so.
Well, if I take it to the bank, they're only going to give me $1 million.
Gordon, I hear he can get you out of anything in Australia.
Unlike in Qatar, where all matches were basically in the same city, this time the games were very spread out. So again, unlike in Qatar, I couldn't attend any match just for fun.
But I could.
And together we enjoyed the games in other cities directly from the fan festival. This is when Australia eliminated Canada. Is someone here sad?
No.
The Australian team, or better, the Matildas, had fantastic performances and gathered immense support all over the country. All major cities lit their main buildings and monuments in green and yellow on match days. It was beautiful. This was the first ever FIFA Fan Festival at the Women's World Cup, with events going on in every host city. They brought together almost 800,000 people. The Fan Festival in Perth was located in a very cool area in the city center, surrounded by street malls. What surprised you most about Perth?
It's so far away from everything. It's remote.
I thought it was very quiet.
Yeah, I think everyone lives in the suburbs.
That's exactly what my new friends from Perth told me. Everybody lives in the suburbs. What else?
Very relaxed city.
Very relaxed. That's true.
Their winter weather is quite fantastic, I think.
That's true. That's true. It rained more than it should.
It hardly rained.
I only expected sunny days, I guess.
Otra, they like their coffee. So many cafes and they're busy.
But you know what? That's entire Australia.
And I don't mean Starbucks.
As a tourist, the Central Business District is the place to be. If I haven't convinced you yet, let me show you what else is in this area. Just north of Elizabeth Quay and the street malls, you find Northbridge, considered Perth's cultural and entertainment center.
I went there during the day, but it's famous for the nightlife
So why did you go during the day?
because you weren't there.
Oh. Well, but during the day, you can actually enjoy the cafes, museums, the galleries.
Yeah.
There's a pretty cool museum there. They have a cafe in an old jail and a grapevine that's believed to be the oldest in Australia, planted in the 1850s. Now, wait until you hear about Kings Park. This park alone occupies almost half of the area of the entire city center. It is huge.
I walked the whole park all afternoon it took me.
Was it worth it?
You tell me.
And there are some landmarks inside the park, like many ponds, war memorials, a firefighter's memorial. You also learn about the living rocks built by microscopic life forms, the dinosaurs that lived in this area, and there's a botanic garden with plants and flowers we had never seen before. After watching The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, Australian flowers now have a whole new meaning.
All this is free. It's really impressive.
And the views, wow, you can see the park itself from the top of the DNA Tower, or see the city from the edge of the park. Perth is the capital and largest city in Western Australia, the largest state in the country. It is said that here can have more hours of sunshine than any other Aussie capital city. It is also the gateway to the beauties unknown to many foreigners, such as the Caribbean-like beaches, the unreal pink lakes, and an island famous for another unique Australian animal you only find here, the quokka.
And no, we didn't get to see any of this. These are entire day trips from Perth, or maybe a road trip in the case of the lake. We were busy with the matches.
Working behind the scenes is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. For the first time in history, the Women's World Cup had 32 teams, just like the men's. And this also meant more games. After 3 weeks in Perth, we moved to the city that awaited us for the bigger matches.
I literally went from one of the smallest to the largest stadium in the entire competition.
My second half in the World Cup was at one of the most iconic stadiums in Australia, built for the Sydney Olympics in 2000.
Here's the Olympic Park.
From Perth to Sydney, it was a long flight, as you're crossing the entire continent. It takes 5 hours from coast to coast. In Sydney, there's a train connecting the airport to the Central Business District, and it is amazing.
Gordon, you have a station.
Where is it?
It's Gordon.
Where?
Here.
During the World Cup, we stayed at the Olympic Park. The city center was over an hour away via public transport. Sydney is a huge metropolis. It was actually the largest city in Australia until a few months ago. Now, it's been surpassed by Melbourne. In Sydney, we witnessed the true dimension of the Women's World Cup and how we got the support of an entire nation. My very first match was Australia-Denmark. The game was sold out. Australia won 2-0, and the ball from the first goal was put on public display. This was the Adidas experience. They also displayed team uniforms and footballs from previous tournaments.
I almost got a mini ball. Oh, I still got a gift.
Ah, look at that. The World Cup ball joining the Australian postcards.
To the left, she gets it to the right.
The atmosphere was amazing. As the Matildas kept winning, the fan festival looked more like a music festival, hard to get in on match days.
I got there an hour before, and it was full.
You couldn't get in?
They blocked the entrances. No more people they were letting in. But I yelled, I'm Canadian, and they said, so what? The next match, I went 3 hours before.
What was going on at the fan festival?
Oh, they had a bunch of games for kids, and then for adults, food and music, and then they gave some stuff away, and then they had the museum, FIFA Museum. And that was really cool. They had the ball from the first Women's World Cup in 1991, the very first. Uniforms from all 32 teams. There's some of the celebridades painted on the wall. Christine Sinclair, I never knew that she
told you
she was a top scorer.
Yeah, she's
Top scorer for the women.
huge.
From Canada. I'm from Canada, did you know?
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, they had a trophy. I saw the first trophy. And then I saw Monitor's shoes, you know? She's from Brazil. Those shoes stunk.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, they had her shoes, you know why? Because nobody wanted to sponsor the women.
That's when she was fighting for equality.
Yeah, she's come a long way. And they have this Japan's tactical lineup written in Japanese. I understood.
Everything, right?
Yeah, so I should coach a team that will play them.
Japan got to the final with that tactical lineup.
Yeah, I know. I know how to beat it too.
If the excitement for the adults was already up there, imagine for the kids. Here I was at Australia's training, and there was a school in front. The kids almost went crazy thinking that the media bus was the players' bus. In the quarterfinals, Australia faced France in Brisbane. Later in the day, we had another match in Sydney. Fans arrived 4 hours earlier to watch both games. There were lots of giant screens outside the stadium. At the same time, look at the tension in the media center. Journalists did exactly the same. Talking about media, I also had the chance to visit the place that became the heart of TV production, welcoming thousands of professionals from all over the world. Here's the IBC. This is where broadcasters work from. Look at this. From the master control room, they can see all camera angles. It's quiet like this because there's no match today. Now, here's the amount of cables and equipment it takes to send TV signals to the various countries. Needless to say, the door is super protected. Today is the final. Look at how amazing. They changed the entire design of the stadium, outside, inside as well. Everything is different, especially for the final. The final! The city was on fire, and inside the stadium, the energy level was even higher. And yes, this tiny little one here, this is me, working with media operations. This was my 4th Women's World Cup, and it is amazing to see how much it changed over the years, especially in terms of excitement from the public. You were in previous ones with me, right?
Canada and France. It's getting big, huge.
A lot of excitement going on, and I think that this event totally changed the perception of women's football in Australia.
People got behind their teams. And the compete level is up there too, because many teams, strong teams, didn't make it.
We both lost all our 3 teams very early on.
The perception in Australia and New Zealand of women's soccer has really changed now.
And it felt amazing to be a tiny little part of it.
If you like this kind of behind the scenes of mega events, check out my videos of the World Cup in Qatar and the Tokyo Olympics. Links in the description.
Now, as you probably noticed, we didn't talk about any tourist attractions in Sydney, and why is that?
Because it's coming up in the next video.
Stay tuned.
We are the best! You're